Recently, members of Metro Ministries met to discuss the Summer Youth Grant application process. Here are some highlights from that conversation.
I'm Lisa Morris, the Metro Ministries Executive Director. I have with me our Summer Youth Grant Committee. Roger Outcalt chairs our Summer Grant Committee, and Doris Clark is the Metro Ministries president of our board of directors. And we're here having conversation around the grants that we give to churches and community ministries that want to have a summer program to care for the children and youth in their neighborhoods and their communities.
Here are a few questions and observations from the meeting.
What is the importance of planning and submitting grant applications and reporting for our Metro Ministries Board of Directors?
When I think about that question, I come up with very quickly two very real reasons why it's important. One is for the Metro Board itself, and that is for our planning in terms of our fiscal responsibilities. It's the use of dollars. How can we maximize the use of those dollars? How can we expand the work of the United Methodist Church through Metro and its dollars into the community and into programs that serve kids? So for me, it's about the board, but it's also about the local program and helping them put on a program that's not just about serving kids, but how is it that we make something of these kids? How is it we begin to develop a faith with these kids? How is it we provide these kids with things that they may not have otherwise? Maybe a hot lunch during the summer when the school lunch program is no longer available for these kids. By having the grant process, we want to help the local churches and community groups think about what that purpose is and how they want to accomplish that. And then to think about how they're going to measure how successful they were. By keeping statistics, by doing some evaluation. That helps them build a stronger program next year if they come back for additional funding. It helps us share with other folks in the Indianapolis area programs that are effective.
I know one of our programs that we've supported the last 3 years is the Kids Lunch Club at Sheridan, and one of the exciting ways that we have modeled that through our past summer youth videos is it was a part of the video, the story of Sheridan First United Methodist Church, and recently Fortville United Methodist Church was wanting to do a lunch program in the park. And so this was a model that I was able to say, go to the 2010 part 2 of that video and find the information that would help them to model a really good summer youth program.
What you talked about with Sheridan First and Fortville is clearly what Metro Ministry does. It connects ministries to resources and resources to ministries. So there's a good possibility for duplication without the process of the planning that they have already done.
Exactly. We've been funding summer youth programs for over 30 years. And so we've done this a lot.
Right.
And some of these programs really started very small.
Well, you talk about Fortville with their 12 kids, and then it's 22, but doing it 1 day a week. What would that program do if it were operating 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 days a week?
Exactly.
You know, and to look at that kind of expansion. I think it's also important for the local program to take some responsibility for the program itself in terms of the funding. Metro doesn't want to be the sole funding source, but we cannot be. But we want to assist programs to happen. And so we expect the local program to be involved with their own fundraising or come with their own budgeting process to make sure they have funds available into this, with the idea of how do you make this a self-sustaining program in the long run. Tell us what the need is. You know, it's one thing to have an idea that we'd like to do a lunch program, but if there are already 6 different meal programs in the community, let's not duplicate
Right.
that. Let's use our money elsewhere for other purposes. And so we ask for that kind of research. What's the need? What's already taking place out there? So that we know that these dollars will be very effective.
And those are clearly opportunities to strengthen our relationship with the community and the church.
Exactly, exactly.
And when you say that, Doris, I know you're thinking about the community in the much broader sense.
That's exactly
Not just the United Methodist community.
Right, that's exactly
But
right.
that local neighborhood, those 4 or 5 or 6 blocks where
That's-
people live,
Exactly.
that's where we want to have the impact.
That's exactly right.
Right, right.
And several of our programs are doing that. They're going out in the community, talking to people in the communities. And
Yes.
It's not just an in-house program.
That's exactly right. I always think about the grandmother who's sitting on the porch, and when the children are walking through that neighborhood and they stop and have a conversation with her,
Yeah,
what happens to her day?
yeah,
Exactly, exactly.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's an expression of love.
Yes, it is.
For more information about the grant process with Metro Ministries, you can go to indymetroumc.org. The website under grant link, you'll find information that will guide you through the grant process.